Welcome back to Coffee with the GM, Christopher Mitchell, and here is your Good Day Sun Lakes host, Anita Lawrence.
Hello, Sun Lakes. I'm Anita Lawrence, your Good Day Sun Lakes host, and I'm here with Christopher Mitchell, the Sun Lakes General Manager, to talk about some questions that have been submitted and topics that the community would like to have covered for the month of May 2023. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Anita. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
It's been really busy. Time is flying by fast, but I understand that you had some excursions.
Well, my husband and I, Bill, we went to Egypt the end of March into April. What an amazing trip.
Nice.
It was so much fun. I would go again. We rode a camel. Not my finest moment, but I did it.
Nice.
We went hot air ballooning over the Luxor temples. Beautiful. Just unbelievable experience. And we went to the Valley of the Kings and Queens.
Yes.
Saw the tombs of Tutankhamun.
Very nice.
And Queen Nefertari.
Nice.
Just an amazing experience.
Excellent.
I would encourage anyone that's interested in Egypt to go.
And I'm definitely interested.
There's a lot of walking.
Yes, I know.
And sometimes when you're going into the tombs, there's no handrails, so you got to be extra careful. But yeah, it was a great trip.
Excellent. I've seen some of your pictures, and I think you're doing a couple of articles, aren't you?
Well, part 1 of our adventure is in Sun Lakes Life.
Nice.
That came out last Friday.
Nice.
Part 2 should be in the next edition. I've almost got it finished.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
I think it's going to be about 3-part article.
Good.
So,
because I saw some of the pictures you took, and it's beautiful. The architecture, the ruins, it's awesome. I'm glad you got to go, and I'm envious of you, but that's one of my bucket list items to do.
Yes, do it. Absolutely do it.
Yeah.
So we have a few topics.
Yes, we do. We're going to get caught
today.
up. I know it's close to the end of May, and we're catching up on some things, so let's do it.
Okay.
I'll take my sip of coffee to prepare myself.
I brought my water.
Nice. Let's do it.
Okay. Can you provide updates on the dehumidifier in the South Clubhouse?
Yes. So the board has approved the replacement of the dehumidifier in the South Clubhouse. Because of the lead time to get the equipment, we're looking at August and September time frame to get that installed. Originally, we had planned also to do the spa replastering there in the South Clubhouse, and actually working with Jason and Mark Schleiden, their recommendation they made to the board is, hey, excuse me, since we're already we're going to have to close for the South Clubhouse pool for the dehumidifier, why not do the replastering of the pool, the spa, and address the decking there at the same time? It's already closed. One thing we want to do is we don't want to put the members out, that they lose an opportunity to use their amenity. So since it's already going to be down, an opportunity to do that work on the pool can be done, and the board agreed. So more information will be coming out on that. Mark Schleiden's going to be working on some quotes for the work, and we'll be then getting feedback from the board. So that's exciting. We're finally going to be addressing it so people can go into the South Clubhouse pool, swim, and not feel like, the humidity, choking. So
Yes, it gets kind of steamy over there.
it does, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay, some of the members have been asking why sand and other project materials are
Yes.
stored in the main clubhouse parking lot.
Yes, and the reason we do that is it's a centralized location so that we can address the bunkers. So a lot of members saw that there was white sand out there. I also saw a few members, I think, helping themselves to the sand, but that's okay. In order to get to that front 9, that was the ideal location so the contractor can get it in and out. Whenever we do some work on the roads or some other area that is centralized to that location, we'll use that main clubhouse parking lot. We'll also, when we're doing jobs here on the north side, we'll use some of the north parking lot as well. Again, trying to make it easier for the contractors, because they will charge you extra if they have to haul in from outside, and a way to save money is to utilize some of the space we have. So that's what, and it should be cleaned up right now. I think we just have a Conex container over there, but that's the story of why we use some of that parking lot.
Okay. Some members have also asked why a transformer needed to be replaced on May 22nd.
So there's a feeling, and I got emails, message to management, why that needed to be done. It's the city's responsibility, and it's not. The city's responsibility is to the meter, and anything past the meter in the buildings is our responsibility, actually. And this transformer was down to 8%. Members may have noticed why there was, we have some good members. Bob Murri even heard a humming on some of the equipment, lights flickering, battery backups popping. The issue was the transformer was failing, 8% life left. And so there was a need to close on Monday to do that work, because the worst thing we want to do is have a wonderful concert going on and the entire power goes out because the transformer fails. So we need to be proactive, and that's kind of the change also that we're doing on some of the projects, is be proactive before it fails, before we get to the point where now I'm down 2 months, when if I had done some preventative work or ahead of time, it may have been down just a week. And so the board is also looking into that. I'm very happy with that. They're also the same mindset of, let's identify the problems ahead of time and address them, not till systems or services are being cut. So,
All right. About 2 open meetings ago, a member asked about the foreclosures that the association has done. Can you provide any updates?
So we still have some foreclosures that we're holding. That is one of the delinquency options the board has. And the reason they do that is the board forecloses and they take control of the property. And a key thing is to make sure it's secure, that they know who's coming in, who's coming out. Because sometimes we've had homes in the past where the guest list is still open and those members can come in. By the association taking possession of it, we can maintain the yard so that's not an eyesore for the community, and control access, and also ensure that there's not squatters that come in and then stay there, and then that's another issue. Now, a problem that we've seen is, since 2006, 2007, members might remember, prices were way out of control. And so many members got what's called a reverse mortgage. And members, I can't, whether good and bad for a member, that's your own financial advice. For an HOA, those are really bad. Because what happens is, if when the member moves out, if they pass or they go to assisted living, they have a reverse mortgage, they basically say, I'm done. And their descendants may say, well, I'm not going to take it, so it's done. So it sits there. Yep. Also, one of the problems we faced during that 2007, 2008 timeline is banks, Washington Mutual, other ones failed. So who owns that, or who has that collateralized loan? What bank? And that's also hard, is because we can't identify who has taken over those assets. But we do know that HUD guarantees those loans. And so we've gone to HUD and say, okay, HUD, we want to work with you to get these on the market. Or are you interested in doing a short sale? And we've finally got in touch with HUD, and HUD said, no, we will not do a short sale. We will not take a haircut on it. You will wait until we take ownership of it, and then it will be done. HUD wants to drag its feet, not only probably because they don't want to pay the assessments on it by taking ownership, but because they have a backlog. You might remember that during the pandemic, all foreclosures were held off. I think it didn't end until July 2021. I can't remember the date. So they had a backlog of foreclosures to do. And so we're just, 8 houses is what we have right now. And pretty much we're on hold waiting for HUD to do something. Some members have said, well, just rent it out. So now you're going to make the HOA become a landlord, and the risks that are involved with that to the association. So I don't know if 3,327 homes are going to want to begin being landlords and have any liability that may come from it. So the board has not pursued that because there is some risk with that. Instead, right now we're maintaining it, ensuring that it's secure, and waiting for HUD right now. We're in a holding pattern, unfortunately. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
That's a good question. I get that a lot.
Members have commented that you have been more visibly involved in communicating information about food and beverage items in the administration updates and at the delegates meeting. What has caused this change?
I'm glad it said I wasn't more involved in the kitchen because I have not been cooking. So don't complain. I wasn't me making the cheeseburger. But seriously, the reason I've done that is trying to be more proactive because there's a lot of misinformation out there in the community. And it's always, well, it's the chef, it's first service that's to blame. And many members might remember, and it's going to be under the website, under the GM reports, that there are many factors that go into food and beverage, from the economy, not only competition outside, but the members' financial abilities. You know, that things are costing more, their members' disposable income is reduced, they can't go out as much. Issues with the pricing, adjusting to a market that has food prices going up, and then decisions by past boards. And so I did a presentation. Hernan and Bob Murri helped me with that, and that will also be on the website. But the goal was to try to get more information out to the community and tell them, here is what's happening. Here are where we're making some gains, and here's where we still have some work to do. And I didn't feel that there was enough communication out there, either from a committee standpoint. And so I wanted to enhance it with doing some PowerPoint presentations, doing videos to educate the community. Because it becomes repetitive when you keep blaming, well, it's first service, or it's a general manager. There's more behind the scenes that are going on. And so my goal was to educate the community.
Okay, thank you. I have heard you give project updates during the administration update and at the district delegates meeting. What are some of the big projects coming down the line this year?
Well, you know, I'm glad I have a little projects worksheet that I do, and I was prepared to actually do this during my close, but there are several things that we're working on. So I provide a project worksheet to the board, and I also review this with some of the committees that I'm the liaison with. Also, Jason will be, when he's the liaison for his committees, he's going to be handing out some of these. But again, I'm just going to go quickly. Gate 1, Gate 2 are being addressed, the fountains. We've had to bring them back online, and there are some mechanical issues. The billiard room carpet, we're going to be putting some carpet in there. Of course, we have the master plan initiative. That is a long-term planning that the board is interested in pursuing. We have also got lounge expansion. That's one of the big ones that the board did a survey. There's a large majority of the people said, hey, move forward with it. And so that is something that they are working on right now with the plans. And there'll be more information I know the board gives to the community. We're addressing road safety issues, from signage, possibly adding some speed humps, speed bumps. Also working with City of Banning, possible patrol in the community. Utilizing the lobby bar, and so that was one of the things you'll see Fridays and Saturday nights. The lobby bar is open. Jason and Dario are going to be working on some types of tables, tabletops, pub tables for the library that we can put out on Friday and Saturday. Again, so members can go over to that bar, have some wine, sit in the library. Not having the fireplace on during the summer, that's a little toasty. Also, you know, we're working with the board on the first impressions when new homeowners come into the community. How are the curbs? I know it's beautiful. We see the green as we come in through Gate 1, but there's some fine details that also we need to address, like the color of the plants. How do we present? You know, when you look at the clubhouse, it's the paint good, and just some of those things so that people feel, hey, you know what, I got a great value here. It's beautiful, and that's what we're trying to achieve, is that the members feel that they're getting a better value than what they're paying. A couple of other things that we're going to be working on. We have the bunker project that was complete. Cart paths are going to be done, and should be done this week. Road project will be beginning August, September timeline. That will address several of the cracking issues in some of the districts. More to come on that. And then, as we talked about with the dehumidifier, working on the South Clubhouse pool during that time. And then what we'd like to do, and the board is agreeable to this, is in November when the North Clubhouse pool is closed, addressing the pool, spa, and decking at that time as well. Again, it's closed, members aren't using it, and so that's when we should try to get our projects done. So that's just a little bit of the update on the projects. Thank
Sounds
you.
like you have a full plate.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going
Yeah.
on. There's a lot.
Okay. There has been a lot of chatter on social media, and a delegate even spoke about this at the last delegates meeting regarding a male and female duo who have been attempting break-ins within Sun Lakes. The female comes to the front door while the male is attempting to break in at the back door. What should a resident do immediately if they find themselves in this situation?
So it should be a multiple choice: A 911, B 911, or C 911, or D, all of the above. Contact 911. I know there's some members still that will call the front gate, call Securitas. This is an emergency, and members, please, you've got to call 911 if you feel threatened. And I think it's another thing here is that we're seeing more of this. The economy's changing. People out of work, or there's influx of homelessness around the community. We have to be aware, be vigilant. So if you see something, say something. But also, if you feel threatened, if you feel that there's something wrong, please call 911. They can respond very quickly. We've already been working with Banning PD on this, of their response time with us, even, as I said earlier, talking about patrols within the community. But it's critical. Don't call the non-emergency number. Don't call Securitas. Don't call the admin office. Call 911, please. It's critical.
And I know this is disconcerting to a lot of our residents who live alone, but I think if we let them know that the situation is happening, they can be better prepared and not open the door to someone that they don't know.
Correct. Especially late at night.
Exactly. Okay, Father's Day.
Yes.
On June 18th, the Food and Beverage Department is planning a Father's Day brunch. Do you have more information about this special brunch to honor Dad?
Actually, I do. Isabella will be taking me to my favorite restaurant. Oh, this is about dads in general, not my. Okay. So from 11 to 2:30, we will have a grill-centric menu that with barbecued chicken and ribs, $39.99, $39.95. I don't know where the 4 cents went. $39.95 again for the adults, $19.95 for children, and under 3 are free. $12 for bottomless champagne. Now the tickets and the reservations can be done at the front desk. Go to Betty, go to one of the staff members there at the hostess desk, and you can buy those tickets. It is a ticketed event, and it's critical. Please buy those tickets in advance, because what we do also on some of these, just some behind the curtain, what happens is, as we see these events getting larger and larger because of the ticket sales, that may mean we need to move to the ballroom. And the only way we know that is the advanced ticket sales. And so please buy your tickets early. You don't want to be left out. Come on, $39.95 for barbecue chicken and ribs. So look forward to it.
And I've seen the flyer, and there's a lot of other good items.
There
on
are. I
there.
didn't bring a flyer today. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
go
let me know.
online. It will be there. Hernan's going to make sure there's an email blast on that, as well as some social media updates and the website.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions that we have. Do you have anything you would like to cover before we wrap this up?
Now, I think the biggest thing is thank you for giving me an update, or letting me give an update on the projects. Father's Day. We're entering into budget season. The board will be working on that beginning May, and so that's always a challenge. I know that the goal of the members would like to keep the assessments down, and so that's something we're going to be working with the board on and the Finance Advisory Committee. So look for that June, July, August. That agenda or that budget has to be approved in October at an open session. Also, there's a couple things for the open session we're going to be talking about coming up. There's one, members, I've already got a couple of questions. What is this CCNR amendment that's on the agenda? And the reason that is to try to lower the approval level for the CCNR. Right now it's 75% affirmative to get a CCNR amendment. Now, you might remember 2 years ago, Civil code change. Sacramento changed the law on rentals and said all HOAs, you need to update your governing documents, the CC&Rs, to deal with rentals. And remember, we had discussion, why do we need to change the CC&Rs? Well, because the law says. But besides that, we couldn't get that threshold because it was 75%. And we've seen that with elections the past couple of years. Less people are voting. This last election even, we had one district that didn't even have any representation. The votes weren't counted. And so this is a way of, hey, there's some things that we have to do modified long term. We want to consolidate the CC&Rs. Right now, if you look online, you have the base CC&Rs and then all these amendments. So it's confusing. A member would go on and say, well, it says this. Oh, you've got to look at Amendment 2. And it needs to be consolidated and rewritten and then approved. Approval level of 75%. The probability of getting that is not good. Then, if the board would push and say, okay, we're going to send this to, we're going to take it to court for a judge to rule on, that costs money. So then, just like that one that we had to do for the rental restrictions, we had to pay money. That was another $7 to $10 grand that we shouldn't have had to pay because we should have got the 75% approval because it was required by the civil code. So thinking long term, this will be one thing that we feel that needs to be adjusted. And so look for that. That will be on the open session for discussion. And that's it for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And welcome back, by the way.
It's good. It's fun to travel, but there's no place like home.
That is true. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today. If you have a question or topic you'd like to see covered by the general manager next month, we have 2 ways that you can submit them. One, you can log into sunlakescc.com, and after you've logged into your member account, there's a button that says Message to Management. You can enter your concern or question there. The other way is there's a box at the receptionist desk in the main lobby, and you can fill out a form there and submit it that way. Once again, thank you for joining us. I'm Anita Lawrence for Coffee with the GM, and good day, Sun Lakes. Thank you.
Cheers.
Gracias for watching Coffee with the GM on Sun Lakes, Telemundo Channel 97.